This is the Good Government Show.
I'm really thrilled. I'm excited. I love Fayetteville. I love our city. There's nowhere else in the country I'd rather be. And I think we have so much potential, so much going for us. We just needed a little bit more energy. We can no longer govern like we're a small college town. We have to move things forward. And so it was a real opportunity, and I think it was really the right time. I have had a career in fundraising and communications, and thought that I would spend the majority of I thought that that's what I would do forever, is raising money and doing PR. There are many ways to give back to a city, right? This isn't the only one, but this is the way that works for me, and this is the way that I know how to do it. I decided a long time ago, rather than convince them they were wrong, I was just going to show them. And that's what I've done. Good government is aspirational.
I like talking with new mayors and young mayors. Molly Rawn was less than a month into the job when I met her at the Conference of Mayors. And by the way, it was her birthday. She's young, which she says allows her to bring a new level of energy to the job. Welcome to the Good Government Show. I'm Dave Martin. First, help us share the message of good government by liking us and sharing us where we are on Facebook, X, YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky. Please share our show with your friends and review us where you're listening. And join our Good Government Show community. Check out our website for the link. On today's show, I got a chance to talk with Molly Rawn as she starts her 4-year term as mayor of Fayetteville, Arkansas. The first thing you notice when you talk to the new mayor is her enthusiasm for the job that's in front of her. We talked about her background and how that led to her taking on the job as mayor. Fayetteville is in the northwest corner of the state and home to the University of Arkansas, a major driver of the local economy. But as the mayor will tell you, it's only part of what the city is about. She set out her agenda, which is in part eliminating red tape and getting city services. Here's an update. In her first State of the City speech, she said she succeeded in this good government initiative. She said the city has already reduced the approval process time for city permits on many projects. There's a lot to do, she said, but she added that she's taking over a city that's already doing well. So, coming up, my conversation with new Mayor Molly Rawn of Fayetteville, Arkansas. Discover how leading government and education organizations are revolutionizing their operations through cloud-powered transformation. Join Amazon Web Services at AWS Imagine for Education, State, and Local Government in Chicago on July 29th and 30th for an immersive exploration of public sector cloud solutions. Experience hands-on technical demonstrations, participate in over 20 specialized sessions, and collaborate with over 500 industry leaders. Envision what's possible for your organization. Register now at aws.amazon.com/government-education/imagine, and we'll see you in Chicago. What if World War I never happened? What if these three royal cousins, King George of England, Kaiser Wilhelm of Germany, and Tsar Nicholas of Russia, chose peace over pride? Good Government Show executive producer Jim Ludlow has just released a new book. The Royal Cousins is a gripping alternate history that imagines how diplomacy and courage could have stopped a war that took 22 million lives. If only they used the principles of good government. Download The Royal Cousins now on Kindle. It's powerful, timely, and just 99 cents. And all the proceeds support our work here on The Good Government Show. Just search The Royal Cousins on Amazon today. Welcome to The Good Government Show. I'm happy to have with us the new mayor of Fayetteville, Arkansas, Molly Rawn. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
17 days in. We're here at the Conference of Mayors in Washington, and I just found out you've been mayor for 17 days.
Yeah, not a long time.
How has your world changed in 17 days?
Quite a lot. Significantly. We had we had some winter weather.
Yes.
And if you know anything about Arkansas, whenever we have snow that comes, everybody runs out to buy the bread and milk, and people get nervous. But it was wonderful. We have a great team. We were prepared, but so we weathered that. No pun intended. In my first week of in office. So.
That was just a little snow was your first test.
A little snow. We got about 6 inches, which is quite a lot for us. But our road crews were on top of it. We actually just were able to debut and roll out a new program that uses software and analytics through our GIS program to really look at where we're pre-treating the streets and where we're plowing and keep track of it that way. So that was a big win for our road department.
So 17 days as mayor. What possessed you to run for mayor?
I am asking myself this, and sometimes I lie awake and go, did I just momentarily lose my mind? That's meant to be a joke. I'm really thrilled. I'm excited. I love Fayetteville. I love our city. There's nowhere else in the country I'd rather be. And I think we have so much potential, so much going for us. We just needed a little bit more energy. We just needed to move forward. Yeah.
And did you feel like you brought energy?
I did, yes, absolutely, and a sense of urgency. I think we're we're the second largest city in the state, and that's in the past 5 years we've seen that demographic shift to where we've taken over and become the second largest, and we're growing. We have about 100,000 people. We're a university city, and so that doesn't University of Arkansas, the Razorbacks. That doesn't even include all of the 30 some odd thousand students that are there, and we can no longer govern like we're a small college town. We have to move things forward. And so it was a real opportunity. And I think it was really the right time for some new leadership.
You're a relatively young person.
42.
Younger than me. Okay.
42.
Which is young for being mayor.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think it definitely is young for being mayor, for sure.
What's your background? What got you into this?
I have had a career in fundraising and communications. Good. And thought that I would spend the majority of I thought that that's what I would do forever, is raising money and doing PR until about 8 years.
Are you good at strong-arming people for money?
I was at one point. I'm a little out of practice, but I understand that in this new role, I might have to use that again. So.
Okay, good. Good skill to fall back on.
But about 8 years ago, I took an opportunity to be the CEO of our tourism bureau, which was a component unit of our city. And they took a chance on me not having a background in the CVB world. But it was wonderful. I always say that tourism, when done well, increases the quality of life for the people that live in a community, not just the people that visit.
Put on your old hat.
Yeah, so it was an economic developer.
What brings people to Fayetteville?
Oh man, what brings people to Fayetteville? So of course there's the obvious. There's the Arkansas Razorbacks. That's our number one tourism driver. But what I think that people will find is we have an incredible trail system. So if you are a cyclist of any kind, Fayetteville is, it's nestled in the Ozark Mountains. It's beautiful. I show pictures to people all the time, and I'm like, guess which state? And they can't, and people don't pin it as Arkansas. And I think it's just it's a hidden gem in many ways. So we have a wonderful trail network, wonderful greenway, wonderful arts and culture. We have the Walton Arts Center right in downtown Fayetteville. So you do get this more urban feel, these amenities that you would expect out of a bigger city, but it still hasn't lost its small town charm.
And you said you grew up in Little Rock. What brought you to Fayetteville?
My husband and I moved to Fayetteville for him to get his master's degree from the university, and we moved.
Did he get it?
He did. Yes, he did. He did. We moved in 2005. We were both lifelong Arkansans. Moved to Fayetteville, and it took us maybe 2 weeks to decide. Okay, we're never. This is our home. This is where we're going to stay.
How much of giving back to this place that you've adopted as your hometown drives you to become mayor and to work for it?
I would really, at the risk of sounding trite, that's all of what it is. My community and the community of Fayetteville, I take so much pride in it and so much ownership in it. And I feel like it's it's like the main character in the show that is my life. It's my city. It's so important. And so giving back to it this is the way that I know how to do it. There are many ways to give back to a city, right? This isn't the only one, but this is the way that works for me, and this is the way that I know how to do it. It's
a huge jump to go from being head of the tourist board or the CVB or whatever that name is for that entity to being mayor.
It is, yeah. We went from I managed a $6 million budget, and now it's a $245 million budget. So yes, that's a great, right. 22 employees to now we have over 900. So yeah, it is a huge jump. But I have worked closely with our city for several years, built relationships within our city. We have a wonderful staff. We have a wonderful city team. I have a wonderful chief of staff. So it is a big jump, but it was a big jump I'm prepared for.
There must have been people who said, who is this girl Molly? Now she's going to be the mayor? Like what's going on?
All of them. Like so many of them. so many of them. And, you know, some of them probably still do. But I decided a long time ago, rather than convince them they were wrong, I was just going to show them. And that's what I've done.
So you ran as mayor. This is the Good Government Show. What was the good government you hoped to bring to Fayetteville that they didn't have?
Well, I want to say that, you know, we had a lot of good ingredients. I did not by any means walk into an administration that was broken. I did not walk into a city that was not already doing well, right? And so I want to say that from the get-go. I have a tremendous amount of respect for former city leadership. What I wanted to bring was a sense of urgency. We have, in Fayetteville, sometimes process becomes the deliverable, and we lose sight of what we are trying to accomplish. We are following the process, but we have forgotten that the process needs to end to results. And so we talked a lot about housing in my campaign. Housing, land use.
Well, that's a problem across
zoning.
the country.
It is a problem. It is a problem across the country. But what I just actually read this morning in the report that U.S. Conference of Mayors put out is that in an absence of strong federal guidelines and support for municipalities and housing, it is up to the municipalities in many ways to bring about those changes. So yes, it is a national problem, and yes, cities have a role to play in solving it for sure.
And what's the role that you see your city developing is it a 2-year term, 4-year term?
It's a 4-year term.
All right. Yeah. So you're just getting started?
I'm just getting started.
3 years to go. What's on your agenda?
Yeah, I think a partnership with the university. One of the issues that we have right now is that most of the available affordable housing is taken up by students, and students need a place to live too. And so we need to be more aggressive in making sure that we're not losing sight of workforce housing.
Okay.
And I think that we can do that. You know, Fayetteville made headway, or made quite a bit of press. It was a little bit controversial several years ago when we did away with parking minimums for commercial businesses. And I think that there are people that are trying to claw that back. And I think that would be a mistake. I think that you have to make a decision as a leader whether or not your city is going to be built for people or be built for cars.
Yes.
So I'm trying to bring about a change where we are building for people and not building for cars. And I think that's one of the most important things that we can do to
more bike lanes.
I mean, sure, more bike lanes are fun, but I think that's reductive. I don't think it's just that. I think it's about transit centers, making sure, if we can, we don't have to make it where nobody has a car. We could just make it where one or two things that they do each day is a little bit easier to do without a car. And I think that that's huge.
Are you talking about other forms of mass transit, more buses?
I would love that, and particularly in a regional approach. So we're in the I-49 corridor, which is Fayetteville, Springdale, Rogers, Bentonville, and cities that are home to, one of them home to headquarters of a Fortune 1 company up the road in Bentonville, and then also several on the Fortune 500 list up and down that area. And so we see a lot of people now that are commuting, both north and south every day. Yeah. And so to people moving from larger cities, Northwest Arkansas feels like one large city in many ways. And so I think a regional transit, whether that be light rail or just improved bus service, has to be a piece of that conversation.
How is that going over? It's hard to get people out of their cars.
It is very hard to get people out of it. It's hard to get me out of my car. I get it.
I live in New York City. That's why I asked about bikes. I ride a bike around Manhattan.
Yeah. And that's fantastic. And so I think people sometimes they think about, New York City, or they go to these like extreme examples that are so different from Fayetteville.
You're not putting a subway in Fayetteville.
Right. No, we're not.
Yes.
We are not. But we could look at examples that are closer to home, like Chattanooga's done a lot of good things. Madison, Wisconsin has done a lot of good things. And so I think that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. I'm not trying to get rid of everybody's cars.
Right.
I'm just trying to say that, maybe we don't have to dictate how many parking spaces you have for your business.
So you're here at the Conference of Mayors. Are you meeting those mayors from those cities?
I am not those two that I named just yet. I hope that I get to, but I've met several great mayors. I have a mayor buddy that I'm looking forward to meeting. They paired us. It's funny. They call it a mayor buddy. It's very cute. I like it.
Who's your mayor buddy?
Mayor Baird from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Okay.
And I haven't met her yet, and I get to meet her here in a couple hours. I'm really looking forward to it.
Good. All right. You said you ran on a housing platform. What's the one thing you hope to accomplish in the next 3 years 11 months.
It'd be easier to say like 8
Oh, and by the way, we're going to do another interview in 4 years. And we're
okay,
right,
great. Yes, yeah, putting the pressure on.
No pressure. Just good government.
Fully redeveloped Unified Development Code. We've been sort of patching it here and there, and I think that an entire new development code for the city of Fayetteville is what I hope to accomplish.
So this should...
And a downtown master plan. I'm making those two things because they're related, but two things.
But it's streamlining the process.
Yes.
Eliminating some of the backlog and red tape, if you will.
Yes.
Streamlining the process and making it more accessible for everyone.
Yes.
That sounds like good government.
Yeah, it is good government.
All right.
It's smart. It makes sense.
All right. So we're going to find out more about your ideas about good government after this break.
Okay, great.
The Good Government Show is sponsored by Our. That's OUR for Our Community. Get involved. We hear that all the time from government leaders. Our co-brands with your government's name and logo. Your staff and the people you serve are connected and part of your community. From any device, your members provide reliable data and meaningful feedback. Ask a question like, do we want more parkland or better homeless services? More engaged conversations come through the Our app. Visit Ourco, that's OURCO.com, and book a demonstration.
These are difficult times, and if you believe in justice, progress, and democracy, the news you read and listen to can be pretty depressing. And that's why there's a new podcast called Good News for Lefties and America. Every day it features positive news stories for progressive listeners, because no matter how disturbing the headlines might be, there's always hope we can build on for a better tomorrow. Good News for Lefties and America. Listen on this platform at goodnewsforlefties.com or wherever podcasts are heard.
You've been mayor for 17 days. Define good government.
Good government is responsive to its residents. Good government is aspirational. And good government is transparent.
At the end of your week, when you look back, how do you judge if you had a good week or not?
Oh, you know what? That's something I'm bad at because I'm so impatient that at the end of a week, I'm usually already thinking about what I need to be doing next week, that I don't often take enough time to evaluate and reflect upon the week. So I don't do that well. So I'm going to...
Does your husband help with that?
He does. He's fantastic. Having a strong partner in one's life I couldn't do this without him. Yeah.
How should people hold you accountable if they don't like what you're doing or they don't think you're going down the right path?
They should not reelect me.
Well, that's 3 years of putting up with you.
Sure. I want to hear from them. I'm Fayetteville. Sometimes it is I'd have to, grit my teeth and bear it. But one of the things that I do genuinely love most about our city is that we are engaged and we are active, and people are not shy about sharing their opinions. So I have no doubt that over the course of the next 4 years, my community will let me know.
And if they don't like what you're doing, what should they do?
They should email me. They should tell me. They should come to a city council meeting and voice their opinion on any given topic. They should run for city council.
That's hard to do, though.
That is very hard to do. And not everybody can do that. And you're right. And I'm not saying everybody should do that or everybody wants to do that. And by no means is that the only way to hold me accountable. But, I reach out to me. Let me know.
Okay.
Email me. Call the mayor's office. Come to a city council meeting. Let me know.
Do people have your phone numbers?
They do, yes.
Yeah. And people see you out in town?
And people see me out and about town.
Is it a full-time job?
Yes.
It is?
Yeah.
Do you have a city manager or are you it?
I'm it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's a full-time job every day?
This is a full-time job every single day. Yep.
17 days in, what have you learned that you may not have known?
The critical importance of the state decisions and the Arkansas Constitution and how limited in many ways we are and how limiting it can be for municipalities.
And what do you do about that?
That's a different podcast. That's a whole other.
Time.
You have to, as mayor, especially in a state like Arkansas, have good, strong, solid relationships with your state elected officials. We're lucky enough we have someone that is down in Little Rock regularly all the time, and that's important.
Where do you get your news? Where do you find out what's going on?
So I listened to NPR. I used to work for a public radio station, so I would have to. That's where I started my career.
Good.
So I would
Thank
have
you.
to
Great.
say,
Excellent.
would have to say that NPR, of course, our local paper, the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. But then I also subscribe to a wonderful local publication, the Fayetteville Flyer. It's an online-only read, and they do it fantastic at this like micro hyper local. They cover every single. Yes, I'm quite a reader. Always have been. Washington Post, a little less so lately, but I still read the Post. The Atlantic for longer form.
Okay. Do you have a political hero? Is there anyone who inspires you to either run for office or now that you're in office, who inspires you?
Yes, several. So, I mean, maybe it's cliche and politically we're not on the same side of things, but, I always think back to like Ann Richards, governor of Texas.
Okay.
She's fascinating to me.
Brassy, one might say?
Brassy is fair.
Nobody said Ann Richards in 100 episodes.
And then I'll say one more that no one has said, though they should. Nicole Clowney. She is a state representative from the state of Arkansas. One of the most intelligent people that I have had the pleasure of knowing. And she's a political hero and also a mom and a personal hero of mine.
All right, great. Did you dream about being in an elected office? Did you, want to be president when you were a kid? Were you a president of the high school class?
Not president of my... No, I was not. But people that are, if anybody is listening that I went to high school with, which I doubt they are, but if they are, they would laugh. No, certainly not president of my high school class.
Okay.
Didn't think I'd ever run for office and until I started thinking about it seriously about 5 years ago.
I'm coming to Arkansas. What are we having? What's the dish of Fayetteville?
What is the dish of Fayetteville? We are going to go to Hugo's and have a burger. And then we're going to go to Maxine's Tap Room and have a cocktail or a mocktail, depending upon cocktail. Then there we go. We're going to do that.
Last question. It's the Good Government Show. We always bring it back to good government. Give me an example of a good government project that you're just starting off with that you're excited about.
A good government project that we're just starting is the pre-approved building permits, something that we have been working on for quite a while, and I'm excited about it.
And
it's
again,
good government.
This is streamlining, and this is eliminating waste and good government.
Yep.
Molly Rawn of Fayetteville, Arkansas, 17 days in. Good luck.
Thank you so much. And it's also my birthday.
It's your birthday. Oh, my gosh. We could have started with that. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
County government affects more people than any other form of government. That's why we like talking to so many representatives of county government here on the Good Government Show. They are the voice of public service. The National Association of Counties, or NACo, supports all 3,069 counties across the USA. This year, their annual conference is in Philadelphia in July. Plan to attend the conference and join them in their efforts to bring good government to America's counties. Check out the details at NACo.org. That's NACo.org. After you get done with this episode, hear more good government stories with our friends at How to Really Run a City. Former mayors Kasim Reed of Atlanta and Michael Nutter of Philadelphia, and their co-host, journalist and author Larry Platt, talk with guests and other mayors about how to really get stuff done in cities around the nation. Check them out where you're listening now or through their nonprofit news site, thephiladelphiacitizen.org/podcasts. I'm not going to convince people, I'm going to show them. A good attitude from Molly Rawn as she completes her first year in office as mayor of Fayetteville, Arkansas. I like when she said I was building a city for people, not cars. And she said, if people can do one or two things a day without their cars, well, that's success. A good goal of good government. Good luck to the new mayor. A big agenda, but big energy too. Well, that's our show. Thanks for listening. Please like us and share us with your friends and review us right here where you're listening. And check out our website, goodgovernmentshow.com, for extras. Help us keep telling stories of good government in action everywhere. Join us again for another episode right here. I'm Dave Martin, and this is The Good Government Show. The Good Government Show is a Valley Park production. Jim Ludlow, Dave Martin, that's me, and David Snyder are the executive producers. Our show is edited and produced by Jason Stershic. Please subscribe, then share us, and like us and review us. That's the best way to make sure we're able to keep telling these stories of our government working for all of us. Then listen to the next episode of The Good Government Show.